I will never put the video games down. I was practically born with a controller in my hands. I wasn't quite an iPad kid, but from day one, I was always interested in video games. Like I remember being 4 or 5 years old, just ripping Gears of War campaign all the time, the original Call of Duty campaigns, COD 4, MW2, Black Ops 1, glued to the screen, just playing these old, amazing video games. I love video games, and I'm sure as many other people, it can provide such a needed escape from the absolute roller coaster called life. Being able to fall back on video games is a way better alternative than scrolling or watching TV. Something I noticed recently, though, that drives me nuts is when I'm playing games and then all of a sudden I'll just pause the game to start stimming on my phone, like start doom scrolling. It's like, brother, you have all the stimulation in front of you already. That game should be the one providing the stimulation, not me having to pause it and doom scroll. I always hear the bros or people on the internet just saying how gaming doesn't hit the same anymore. How they sit there and like turn on their phones and doom scroll for 30 minutes and just stare at the home screen. Now, to an extent, they aren't wrong. Gaming the past, I'd say 5 to 10 years, has been overall just straight dog water. There's exceptions out there. Like there's some great games out there, like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, the Monster Hunter games. One of my favorites too is Warframe. I think that game is goated. There are plenty of options and good games, but majority of them are just straight trash, like just absolute garbage. A lot of it comes from the corporate bullshit that has taken over an industry that was primarily built off of passion. Like back in the day, there wasn't millions of dollars thrown at video games and to be made off of video games as developers. But ever since Fortnite just completely ruining the gaming scene, that's all it's become. Everything is about how much attention can we keep and how much money can we make off of that attention. We all know how bad Call of Duty's been the past however many years, and I feel like that's like one of the clear examples of just straight corporate garbage. But on the contrary, there are so many amazing games that people just simply don't even try or consider because they don't want to put the focus and effort into something new. Wanting something new takes focus and time, and with people constantly being stimulated and the dopamine levels going through the roof, they don't want to take the time to learn something new. It's much easier to hop on a game they're familiar with and just do the same thing over and over again that they've been doing and complain about it than learning a whole new game. I felt this way for a while too, like wanting to try new games, but couldn't be bothered because I couldn't pay attention to the game and learn it. I was just constantly wanting to get the most dopamine rush possible. I was dopamine maxing to try and get as much stimulation as possible. I didn't want to sit there and take the time to learn a new video game. It's like we're so used to having our brains off that when it's time to learn something new, we simply give up because we don't want to put the effort into it. And a lot of this, in my opinion, stems from the scrolling epidemic that has swept over the world. It's no secret that scrolling and stimming has consumed our brains. Like, we are growing dumber by the day, every single day. We got to the point where the old brain rotting, which was video games, has now been outclassed by a new wave of technology stealing your attention through constant stimulation. Video games used to be considered the brain rotting not too long ago, but now through scientific research and the alternative being infinitely worse for you, gaming is leaps and bounds better for you than other forms of entertainment. Gaming is always going to be my primary source of consuming stuff. It requires me to actually, like think, and a lot of consuming items nowadays or forms of entertainment don't encourage this whatsoever. One of my new loves that I've found recently is single player games. Like I've never played single player games until very recently. They're almost like books. Like single player games are telling a story and you're interacting with that story the whole entire time. You are the main character going through a story. It is a book that has come to life. You're engaged in the plot points and you're actually interacting with the world and the story around you with every action that you take. One of my favorite single player games you're watching right now in the recording is Stalker, and more the mods. The original trilogy is goated, but like the mods are even better because it combines all three of the games into an open sandbox world. So there is a story mode to it, but there's also a sandbox version to it, and you can do so much with the game. The replayability for Stalker is insane. Like, I've put thousands of hours and tens of other different playthroughs into this game, and it's just amazing. Like, the replayability is great. And the reason that is because it's not the same thing every single time. Like, The AI in this game are very unique. They have their own system called A Life, and it basically promotes every single AI to have their own goal or objective in the game. It makes the experience different every single time you play it. I've done so many playthroughs, and every single playthrough is different from one another. It's fucking awesome. Single player games kind of allow me to slow my brain down and just enjoy what I'm consuming instead of just playing multiplayer games all the time and getting tight because my teammates are throwing or something like that. Don't get me wrong though, I love multiplayer games. I'm a very competitive person. Like there's nothing like squatting up with the bros and just hopping on a multiplayer game and just absolutely wrecking havoc. I'm not gonna lie now though, I feel like those memes, like you ever see those memes where it's like you work a full 8 hour shift and come home and get murked by some 12-year-old? Like that's me. The kids nowadays are built different on multiplayer games. I low key can't keep up with a full time job. Multiplayer games also involve a lot of teamwork and cooperation with one another if you want to win. You are in a competition with other online people if you want to win. Like if you're playing any sort of shooter game, it takes a lot of critical thinking and hand-eye coordination to outbeat other people, especially nowadays with like hero shooters. Hero shooters are, I feel, now more IQ than hand-eye coordination. Like your aim could be trash, but guess what? You got an ability to save your ass. Puzzle games equal problem solving. They develop your problem solving skills. Fast paced action games, decision making, difficult games increases your persistence and the ability to adapt. And honestly, one of my favorite types of games is sandbox games. Sandbox games promote creativity like no other. Like I hate when people sit there and say they're like bored of Minecraft. It's like, how are you bored of Minecraft? Like if you're bored of Minecraft, you're simply just not creative enough. Again, I think this goes all back to having constant stimulation going on. You want to do something that's mind numbing and doesn't take a lot of thought instead of being able to cut out all the noise and just sit there and let your brain wander off and do what you want to do. You need to detach from all the stimming as a whole if you want to play sandbox games because stimming does not promote creativity whatsoever. Other forms of entertainment are just the complete opposite of all these things. Like you can turn off your brain so easily just by opening up Twitter or Instagram and just doom scrolling. The same thing can be said with TV shows. Like if you're just sitting there binging TV shows, you're not interacting with anything. You're not really using your brain. You're just watching something. Also, something that drives me nuts is like the people who sit there and hate on video games are the same people who will doom scroll and binge TV all day and night. And it's like they're consuming the craziest content on their phones and are glued to the couch until 3 a.m. binging TV shows. But like, how are you going to hate on me for playing video games, but you're doing that shit? Like, what? All of this kind of leads me to my next point. Video games are a great escape if you use them properly. Like, if you're going through it and need a simple unplug from life, life is just on your ass, you can tap into some video games and unplug a little bit. Having a healthy balance of gaming for me is huge. The way to balance it out for me is like you got to do all your non negotiables first throughout the day. And then you can treat video games as a reward at the end of the night or on the weekends. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to cook. I'm going to do all the chores around the house I need to do. I'm going to do errands, work out, all that shit, and treat it as a reward at the end of the night rather than an escape. If you're just being a chud all day and not doing your daily responsibilities of life, taking care of what you got to do, and you're prioritizing gaming over all that, you're doing it all wrong. You're basically just suppressing your life by distracting yourself, which at that point might as well just be scrolling or binging a TV show all day. Video game addiction can just hide the shitty life that you're truly living. It just suppresses the bad situation that you're in by escaping into something else. All these companies and these social media platforms keep you distracted just to waste hours of your life that could be used way differently. Keeping you that distracted from your daily life, it promotes a lot of stress and anxiety too. Like you can go through the full range of emotions within a minute just scrolling on Instagram. You can see a loving puppy being saved in one reel, and then the next you see someone getting hit by a car, just absolutely flattened. You can see really funny memes that put you in a good mood, and then you can see the most dark, like devastating shit to put you in a bad mood. Also, you can just be stuck watching other people in your life, comparing yourself to them, and that is like the biggest recipe for disaster, in my opinion, when it comes to social media is the comparison. And it gets my ass all the time. Like there's this kid I went to high school with that I follow, and He's my age, 21, and this bro is going everywhere around the world, constantly posting all the trips that he's going on, and it's just like, bro, how are you doing this? Like, I just don't get how someone can afford to do this on a regular basis. Like, it kind of gets me in my bag. Like, and this is what that comparing shit does to you. It just gets you in your bag, comparing yourself to other people's lives. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others and the progress that they're at in their lives when we should be comparing ourselves to ourselves and the progress we've made so far in our own lives. Consuming stuff isn't necessarily the problem, it's what you're consuming and how. For example, like if you're reading books, your brain is actively involved in reading, it increases your cognitive function. It slows your brain down in a time where your brain is always on go mode with all the stimulation we go through on a daily basis. The benefits of reading are endless. If there was a drug that reduced your stress levels by 60%, I guarantee you would be taking it. Guess what, bro? Pick up that book and start reading. Reading reduces your stress by 60%. For video games, you're actively using your brain to problem solve, critically think, and focus on a particular objective or task. Many forms of consuming nowadays do the exact opposite. This is why I don't enjoy watching TV or movies. Anytime I watch TV or a movie, I just feel really guilty about wasting my time. And like, that's probably a me problem. Like, I shouldn't feel guilty about watching a movie from time to time, but I feel like I could be doing so many other things than just sitting there watching a movie, not doing anything to engage my brain in what's going on in front of me. Try as I might, I do not like how I feel after scrolling, but sometimes I get caught lacking, as I'm sure most of us do. Growing up in an age where social media is the most prevalent thing, at the click of a button, it's like, how could you not resist scrolling? We have to try our best, though, to cut out all those forms of entertainment and not pick up the phone and start doom scrolling to do other things. You will have to pry the controller from my cold, dead hands. Like, I'm not giving up gaming. Gaming has some of the best storytelling and interactive and thought provoking content available, especially passion projects, like people who make video games or content straight from passion and not for the money. They are infinitely better than any book or movie or TV show I've ever read or watched. This is why I fell in love with modded games. Like, modded games are amazing. People who make mod packs and put a twist on the original game's idea, you guys are the best. Like, seriously. Unsung heroes of the gaming community. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on gaming and how you treat it. Is it more of a reward for you at the end of the day or an escape to suppress what you're going through? Be sure to like and comment if you enjoyed it. I appreciate any feedback that's given to me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.